This is what I do. I get out 1,000-watt lights to demonstrate what I can do.
Well, it's the only way to be sure what the load is, right?
Oh, you can charge electric vehicles.
Exactly.
I've got an electric motorcycle.
So we had a gentleman who had a Nissan
Yeah.
Leaf who wanted to know if we could charge him on the go.
So you can give them up to 8 kilowatts. That's almost.
10. This is 10.
Oh, this is 10. So that's almost. That's about. Let me see. It's almost
70
level
amps.
3.
But you realize that
Not quite. No.
to geeks and nerds, you are a very cool guy.
Yep.
Well, the one thing that working at the studio did help me do is learn how to communicate.
Good.
Oh, he worked for Sony. He was in digital CGI. 100-hour weeks.
CG. Wow.
Digital one animation.
What's the work on? What's one of the projects?
Spider-Man 1 and 2. I worked on Stuart Little, Castaway, all kinds of movies.
Castaway was great. I didn't like the ending.
Which one?
Yes, truck delivered packed.
Yeah, that was gotta end the movie quick because it was long.
Okay, so you have how many watts are these?
I think this is the 1500.
Yeah.
But I think one of them is burnt out. I'm not sure. They just threw it in the back of this before they left. And here you have 2 duplex outlets for 120 volt, ground fault protected, and then 1 outlet for 240 volt. So this is an option. There's 2 options to get power out of our system. This is the power strip. It's one option. The second one is to go directly into some sort of breaker box system, or we hardwired some outlets.
I saw that.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say in your condo complex that you were elected voluntary generator man. You know,
Unfortunately,
once they
I don't
found
know
out
what
what you do.
I don't know what it is. But no, we were talking earlier about potable water, like sources of that.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that.
Like going through your hot water heater is the best source of potable water.
Just because it looks cool, I'd like to have one of those.
But we saw it.
You can put a propeller on it.
That is a 12 horsepower 3-phase AC motor. If you're not using it as a generator.
Yeah. So then you'd need a pretty hefty motor controller.
Yeah, a variable frequency drive.
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn on.
So you see the difference between the radial and the axial?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep, I can spin it for you. That gives an effect. Our whole system is air cooled, so you're going to hear the cooling fans turn on.
You said turn on the machine. You have a battery?
Yeah, I'm going to put it at the truck. So you have 2 12-volt batteries, series parallel, so it's 24 volt.
So a lot like an uninterruptible power supply you might have at home.
Excuse me?
A lot like a lot of 24-volt UPS power supplies.
Yeah, similar. Alright, so the electrical service is now available. It only took about 30 seconds. Yeah. This one of them's burnt out there. There we go. But don't want that in your eyes. Okay.
Those are bright.
So you're familiar with back in the day where you're watching your tube television and your wife would come to the room, vacuum cleaner, and some light. That's the 30-signal movement. Or you were reading something, the vacuum came by and the lights would dim because the voltage was set. Well, our system, we have protected circuits, so that's not going to happen. I wanted to show you that here with this demonstration. Well, it's not only protected circuits. but also
Pure
some-
sine wave.
the sine wave is the quality of electricity. You're going to get 60 hertz regardless. But you don't have voltage sag. Voltage sag is why your lights are red. So if you,
Yeah, that's
if I turn on the Sawzall, you're not going to see anything in the light. So we're pulling about 2,500 watts with the lights and probably another 500 watts with the Sawzall.
So these are 1,500 watts or less?
Yeah, we're missing a bulb on this one. So you're getting about 2,500 right now.
So there's two lights, no engine, except batteries,
Right.
and a tool, big tool. And the fan's running here. And all we're running on is big deep cycle lead acid, or what are these?
AGM.
It's
Absorbed glass mat.
Amalgamated glass mat.
Absorbent glass mat.
These are marine style batteries. They're common.
and the point of those batteries is they're charged up by this thing when it's running.
That's right. That's passive.
And then they're drawn down for how many amp hours are those batteries?
I don't know.
What?
But the
I can tell you by their weight.
But the DC output while the generator is spinning is 200 amps at 20 volts, which is a tremendous battery charge.
So I get it. The batteries go down and the batteries go back up.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So it's a hybrid. It's really a hybrid.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Because all we're doing is charging batteries.
Seems to me there should be two big motors right here connected to these wheels, pushing this car. You know?
Well, at 8 kilowatts, those motors would probably be maybe 5 horsepower apiece, or 6 horsepower apiece. I don't know how quickly you can get a truck.
You'd need some serious gear ratios to get some serious gear reduction to get it
That's
moving.
why you leave the engine up front, let the engine get going, and let those electric motors once it's moving. Because this big truck won't get 50 miles a gallon.
Just about.
Yeah, downhill.
I think it's probably less than 300,000 miles. That's
Really not. I mean, the joke of what some of the humor of it is we have all this technology that we haven't quite got to the edge of We're still dependent on it.
A lot of these trucks do come in propane converted or ethanol biofuel.
But they don't have BTUs to pull this up the hill with a trailer.
Yeah,
These CNG vehicles, they don't use them.
so you can get all the power you want out of
Then you don't
CNG.
get the gas pump.
You
Yeah.
can, especially if you add in some water injection and turbocharge. So
Now you're back up.
you'd be able to get really close to the
There's
same
also
power.
that Brown's gas, where you put hydrogen directly into the fuel head.
Brown's gas?
Yeah.
I might know it under a different name.
It's basically a hydrogen injection into the fuel injector
Yeah.
to get better combustion.
So water. All right,
So-
very exciting. Now,
So here
our application, yes, sir.
I wanted to show you the difference in a lot of other applications with other manufacturers. When you go from battery generated power to generator generated power back and forth, you're going to see a pickup in power. With ours, you won't. I'm going to show you that now. So if you could take a look at the lights.
So we're gonna see there should be no surge when he turns on the engine. Should be a seamless transfer between power sources. So now we're running on, went from battery power to running on engine power. Okay. Now the RPM's kicking up to give it some power.
Generators only going to require the torque from the engine based upon the electrical load of the nail. So for instance, when I turn off one of those lights, it's going to require less torque from that engine.
Yeah, it should.
But the other technologies like the alternator technology is not an intelligent technology, it's still passive. But it's always giving you full power at high RPM. So the lower RPM, it's trying to give you as much power as it can, but it can't achieve that. That's why you see alternator failures and battery failures. It's because the alternator can't do its job based upon the RPM.
Can you demonstrate that here? So turn off the lights. quite a. That sounds like more than 1,100 RPM.
Yeah, it does.
That thing's 25.
But it could be the noise of the generator itself.
So
Yeah,
that,
it makes the noise, but it's not. So that would, considering what it does, it's not really that loud.
Yeah.
It's about the same level as the engine. Right? Roughly.
and the nice thing about this generator is also the amount of ambient noise it throws out. So for instance, if you had an 8 kilowatt generator, it would be so loud that you couldn't hear us talk.
Oh, I've heard a natural gas powered one. My uncle had one, the backup.
Very loud.
Yeah.
They're very loud. With ours, it's just a few decibels above what the engine is doing.
There's anything on the side of the dash. It's got a generator AC. It's just a switch over.
So you have 4 lights on the control panel.
Okay.
You have the battery indicator light, which is a 3-level, red, amber, and then green, which determines the voltage, how much voltage is in this battery. So right now it's amber, so it's charging. And then the next one is the generator light, which is green, so the generator is capable of giving you full power. The fourth one is the charge light. Right now it's fully charging the batteries and not doing anything else. And the last one is AC available power. Okay. So if I turn this off, I'll do the idle control drop. It's still charging batteries, by the way, but the AC load is not available.
So you can't run tools right now.
Right. And
So
then,
when you're driving down the highway, that does the same thing, right? Because the AC load's off.
Right,
but
that's
the
right.
charging's on. Do you have to manually do that?
no, when the idle control is what we're concerned about, and the liability of idle control.
Yes.
So the idle control is hooked into the vehicle being in park and emergency breakdown. When those are both disengaged, there is no idle control.
How is that switching set up? Put it in park and you put on the brake. How does that happen?
There's a 12-volt signal.
Oh, there's a
It's
signal.
going into a fuse.
You understand that?
So there's a little switch somewhere that you put that it gets pressed and released.
You mean what, for the AC power?
Yeah.
It's a switch.
Okay, but like you said, if you don't have to
So,
do it manually,
aren't we interested?
you put it in park.
Hello, everybody.
I'm talking
Are we
about-
interested in
You still
creating
have some
a system
AC power.
whereby you could start it remotely inside your house, and then it would charge the battery up for a half hour, and it would turn off on the timer? Because I'm not so sure they have that technology.
Many
This is manual,
many of the car remote starters, they'll automatically shut off the car after 30 minutes.
but his isn't.
Yeah.
This is a manual.
Yeah.
You don't want to stall the engine. So the torque is going to require from the engine, it won't be there.
I know it's like what we're doing in some kind of like quantum.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, what I don't see in it is it's viability on a remote basis. You can't take this away from the vehicle. You know what I mean? Like ours
Yeah.
is compact enough where you could take it away and have power, which I think is really important. I think it's unique. I saw Anderson clips back there, but everything requires a big vehicle for this. This is primarily a big vehicle idea, unless you built all this into the trunk. You know, put all the, look at the size of these.
Making a smaller version.
These are inverters,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. This right there is the inverter.
Yeah, and what's this?
That's an electric vehicle charging station.
So that's like our little one.
Yeah, that's
we
a-
have a tiny one of those in our.
I don't think we have a charging station.
No, we don't.
No. I mean, no, we don't have. We definitely don't.
Doesn't a charging station just charge the batteries?
Well, it has some protective circuitry to prevent a lot of so electrocuting the user. It's supposed to prevent that. And, it's too much to go into to detail. I can't remember all the details.
He's using marine batteries, ATM.
AGM, absorbent
about
glass mat. Those are the same as the Yeti has.
So, legal that
Yeah, the difference
deep
is
side.
instead of you know how we were worried about spilling the battery yesterday, we were in the van. they don't. All that acid is absorbed into a fiberglass mat in the other type of battery.
Hybrid